Let's talk about Jasmy, guys, and why I believe Jasmy has quite a lot of potential for the upcoming bull run that a lot of us are waiting out for. So let's jump into it. So, looking at Jasmy at the moment, guys, you might be thinking, what is this chart, Hatoki? Why are you even talking about this? But I do have to say, it does look pretty brutal, doesn't it? But it is ranked 97th, and it's one of the more speculative plays that I'm personally in. Again, I've got a really small allocation, really, really small, but I do think it's sometimes worth being involved in some of the slightly lower market caps because the potential returns can be absolutely crazy. But before we jump into the core of the video here, guys, I just want to quickly say there's a quick disclaimer. Please read this with care. This video is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile and highly risky. No results are guaranteed. This content is for experienced users only, and there's a full legal disclaimer in the description below. So, Jasmy, looking at this, it doesn't look great at the moment, but when we do look at previous cycles during the 2021, and especially what we've seen in 2024, we have seen some actually really good returns when we get into it, but it's only just because we are zoomed out so much that we can't actually see the level of returns here. But you might be asking, well, Tookie, what is Jasmy and what does it actually focus on? But let me quickly just tell you in a very simple way. So essentially, it's a digital token from Japan that's built on Ethereum, and the project lets people own and control the personal data instead of big companies holding it. And I think this is a really, really important use case because whenever we go online and we sign up to something, a company holds our data, and we don't often know. We often tick the box and say, yeah, we're happy for you to have our data, but we don't often actually know where the data goes, whether these companies sell off the data, and it's our personal data is so important, guys, and you don't want it to be shared and sold off because then you get all kinds of bad things come to you. So again, I think this is a really, really positive thing. And as well, users can choose to share their data with businesses and get rewarded in return. So I think that's a win-win when it comes to it. So in summary, Jasmy is a way to turn your personal data into something you can control and benefit from, which is very, very good. So when we look at a coin, as I often mention, it's very important to look at the team and the team's previous experience. So when we look at this, you can see pretty much that the founding members and the people very, very high up in the team have a pretty stacked experience. So we can see this guy here, former president and COO of Sony, like invaluable experience. Like not many people in this crypto space have this kind of experience in these very, very, very massive companies. Again, former CEO of Sony Style, really, really positive C, managing director, Sony Style and operating officer, marketing, etc. Really, really positive things. And then we've got the other guy here, former employee at KPMG, a massive company again. So we've got a lot of guys in here who have a lot of stat experience, and we can see them on the site. So for me, when it comes to a coin, we often want people who have experience when they're running it, and so you're very much less likely to get rug pulled when you see someone with a significant amount of experience. So this is really, really positive to see from me. So next thing, I want to show you that something here that I haven't seen many people talk about, and it's the fact that Jasmy's actually got quite a big community, and I think it's quite silent. I think it's a silent majority of a lot of people holding it, and it's that Jasmy ranked the number one most bullish coin in out of all the coins in terms of the community sentiment, and this is very, very recently, guys. This isn't last year or the year before. This is very, very recently, within the last week or so, and last 2 weeks. So when we see this, very, very good. It shows you a lot of people do care about Jasmy. A lot of people hold it, um, and they're not too worried about the price action at the moment, and they believe that the coin can perform really, really well when we do get into full swing, and we understand that the money flow works from Bitcoin into Ethereum, then the larger caps, and then in theory, we should see some money then flow into the smaller cap coins. So a lot of people are staying patient and are very, very bullish when we talk about that. Cool, and the next thing, guys, is that we can see that Jasmy is now ranked in the top 10 deeping coins by market cap. And to be fair, I'm not sure that this is necessarily the most important metric to be winning, but I think the point stands that the more and more things that you see Jasmy winning and being ranked high up in any crypto in general, these are all little wins that all accumulate over time that start to build narrative and start to build investor confidence and all these positive things. So like we can see, this is something really, really good to see from Jasmy. Again, not many people are talking about, but it's a win nevertheless. So very good for Jasmy holders out there. The next thing I want to talk about is just basically the level of partnerships that Jasmy have. So Jasmy's now partnered with Panasonic. Again, this was a little while back in 2024, but I think the point stands that, and I mentioned many times before, that these partnerships are so important for cryptocurrencies just in so many facets. So I think primarily the first point is that it helps both of these companies to generate revenue and actually expand their business and help to grow. So you got to think that Panasonic are not going to want to invest in a partner in a company when they don't think that the company can help them generate revenue. All of these massive companies have all these stringent rules and all these different security things about trying to get a company working with them. It's not a very easy process to integrate partnerships and get all this stuff. So for me, really positive, especially the likes of Panasonic, an absolutely massive company. So I think this is really good. This shows that Jasmy has this shows that Jasmy has business interest, and I think this is really positive. Again, it's one of those things that I don't see that many people talking about, but it's really positive. And again, another thing, don't massively know too much about this company here, but we are seeing the likes of Jasmy get some additional partnerships, which I think more and more, when you see one partnership, it tends to be more of a domino effect, and when we get one, it knocks down another, and then another, and then another, because one well-established business does it, and then we see more and more. So again, for me, really positive to see Jasmy's now starting to get some attention, and this is amazing to see. Again, this was very recently, so very positive. So looking at Jasmy's price action, we need to understand what it's achieved before. So we can see back in 2021, during the peak of the run, Jasmy achieved around about 0.21 cents, which isn't a massive number, but based on where we are today, that's a 14x from today's price, which is a crazy return when we think about that. And this was way before all the partnerships that we mentioned. So it did that, I suppose, based on a lot of speculation back then, but now it's implemented quite a lot of the things that it's been working on. And as well, like I mentioned, we've got more eyeballs on crypto now than ever before. So when we put all of these mix into play, we see the low market cap, we see the partnerships, we see the interest, we see the fact that Jasmy's now starting to win some of these polls, we see that Jasmy's in a little bit of a different niche with the data storage, and I think it's a risk that I'm personally willing to take, not putting loads of money in or even that much, but I still think it's well worth the risk / reward. So yeah, cheers guys, thank you for watching, hopefully provided you with some value.